To do the jump.
Hi, Barry.
Right, how you doing? So I'm here with Drowsy. We're going to have a little bit of a conversation we don't know what about yet, so here we go.
Cool.
The first question for you though is chess or drafts?
I mean, I think I know how to play drafts. I've not played it in ages though. And
But do you know how to play chess?
Not very well, no.
No.
I played it once. Well, I didn't play it. I was watching someone, and I sort of ruined it for them because like they'd be like doing a tactical move, and I'd be like, "So why are you doing that then?" And they'd be like, "All right, well this is why," but then the other person would know. So
Well, I was going to suggest a game of drafts. Do you want a game of drafts?
yeah, let's have a game of drafts.
Alright, let's go with drafts. There we go. Drafts.
What colour do you want to be?
You got black around, I'll go white.
Yeah.
There we are.
Do they start on the? I start on the black, or do I start on white?
On the black, we all both put them on the black.
We all put them on black.
Yeah. 12 pieces.
Just
12 pieces.
what do we do with the others?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if there are more, or have we got the exact. I think, yeah, it looks like there's some extras. So hang on, let's find out from the sacred texts. There are two classes of pieces: uncrowned pieces called men, so these are men, and crowned pieces called kings. Oh, these, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Men can only move one space diagonally forwards to an adjacent unoccupied dark square.
Okay.
A king may move a single space diagonally by forwards or backwards to an adjacent unoccupied dark square. A jump is a move from a square diagonally adjacent to one of the opponent's pieces to an empty square immediately in directly in the opposite direction of the opponent's square, thus jumping directly over the square, jumping the opponent's place. Men can only jump flagging forwards. Well, that's basically that shit where if you're there, I can go like that, right?
Yeah,
Just put it in simple English, right?
And then you take my man, right?
Yeah.
You could start collecting my men.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
capture them, yeah. Multiple jump moves are possible if you can jump over more than one. There's a model medium piece that can be jumped, even if the jump is a different direction. Jumping is mandatory whenever a player has the option to jump.
Oh, so you have to
You have to
do
jump.
it.
You can
Okay.
jump. You can jump.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, jumping's mandatory, including at the show, see?
Yeah.
So you can put that sign up. Jumping is mandatory.
I have no idea what tactics to use, so we'll go there.
So yeah, so you've got a show coming up here this Friday coming.
Yeah, on May 17th.
So yeah, and that's to support your new EP. When did that came out? When?
Is that album? Yeah.
Yeah, an album.
Yeah.
I did listen to it, but I didn't remember how long it was. So it must be really good if I didn't know it was
short.
long.
It's like 35 minutes, I think.
Oh, that's all right. That's a good length. It's a good length for an album.
Especially these days with the TikTok generation.
Is This It by the Strokes is only like 31 minutes.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go then.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's to promote that album. We're going to be playing the whole album start to finish.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Is that the first time you've played all of the songs live?
Yeah. So you usually play 6 of them. So 4 of them I've never played before. Yeah.
So what's your confidence level with the ones you haven't played yet?
Well, so there's been a bit of complications with the personnel. So
Okay.
but we've had to work with it, and so my drummer that's drummed for me for a couple of radio shows and 1 gig is coming back to do it, and we're playing to a click, so it'll be the same tempo as the album, so we should be okay, but it'll be an interesting experience. So
I mean, that's the kind of what live music's all about, though, hinging on I think if it can't go to pieces at any given time, then you're kind of doing it wrong. Really.
Yeah, that's true.
Not taking any risks. So I think maybe. I mean, that's my excuse.
yeah, no, I agree. It's the best of the bad situation, I'd say.
Exactly. And if you feel too confident, then you probably you're probably not taking any risks.
Exactly. Well, I've got to defeat you here.
Yeah, you've got to do something.
I'm just deciding which
jump to
one.
make.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that one.
Nice.
That's 1 white man I've got.
Well, it looks like I only have one option now because I have to jump that one.
Yeah. And now I've got to do this.
Oh.
Which means you've got to do something to that now.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's all kicking off.
But now now we're safe from having to do things.
For one turn at least.
I think I'm safe.
Yeah, it looks like you are. I'm not feeling so safe.
Can you go back?
No, these ones I can only go forward.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you then. I'm going to take one on my next go. In some fashion.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I just have to prep to defend against that one, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I'll fuck that up. No, that was a royally bad move.
That's right, because I'm going to get that.
Yeah, but you've got to double jump it, haven't you?
What do you mean?
Because you can jump more than one.
What, if I do that and then that?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So I fucked it. So now you've got a king. There we are.
Oh, sick. Oh, nice.
I think it goes backwards, right? That's what I said.
Yeah, that one can go backwards. I hope it can, otherwise it's
pretty useless, isn't it? You're the king, but you can't move.
Yeah.
So where did the inspo start for all these songs on these albums? Were they all the songs you've written to date, or did you start choose these are the ones? Did you throw any away? Is what I'm kind of getting at.
So I actually during lockdown I wrote a Midwest emo acoustic EP.
Nice, love it.
Which is going to be the next release.
Okay.
And that was recorded and ready before the album, but I've recently gone back and redone the vocals because I've developed my vocals and listening back to them, they could obviously have been improved on, which they sound way better now. But so I did that, but then I didn't want that to be my first release because I didn't want that to typecast me, for lack of a better word.
That makes sense.
I wanted to be sort of not known for, but a bit of a band. I know it's electronical, but more of a band vibe experience.
Gotcha.
Than me doing an acoustic and then people expecting that and then bringing out like that.
I see. I mean that makes absolute sense. So you've been sitting on some of those songs for a very long time. That's 4 years?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and one of the lyrics talks about how old I wrote it when I was a certain age, and I was 27. I'm 31 now. But I play two of them live in my when I do a solo show. Yeah. I play two of them live. So that's coming up next, and then the inspiration for this album was sort of carrying on the these new ones more personal and a bit more emotional, and I toned that down a little bit for my first release as well, because I was I just want to not throw myself in the deep end, but throw myself in a bit, and not to be inauthentic, but not to be you know what I mean, not to just be a bit weird. Most of the songs are pretty personal, all at least based on true things.
And things in your life,
like Your Plan, for example, where it's you stood me up but set me free, and that was about matching with a girl on Tinder and then going to meet her, and I was waiting for 20 minutes past the time she was supposed to be there, and I messaged her and she said she hadn't even left the house yet, and it was a 20-minute drive away, and that was when I realised that I was worth because before that I would have let that slide, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so you put in you found a new boundary for yourself. And your value of your own time. I was thinking stuff like that, particularly on the first date or whatever. I think you need to look at it, because I think it sets people's intentions towards you. You can kind of get a vibe on how. Maybe she could have come along and she could have fallen madly in love with you, and suddenly her intentions would have changed. Yeah. But if she's the kind of person who stands someone up for 20 minutes, what does that say?
Exactly.
Without letting someone know, or
That's what I mean. If they let me know and there's a fair enough reason, or even if they let me know and it's just a bit I got a bit behind. Yeah. It happens. You know what I mean? I'm not but it was the fact that she when she told me she hadn't left yet, she was a bit smug about it, and it was a bit all right, why do you treat people like this? So I'm interested by this Midwestern emo thing, because obviously that became a bit of a resurgence around TikTok, just people discovering that stuff. And I remember listening to a lot of the earlier emo stuff, 20 years ago. Yeah. And falling in love with emo.
So it's quite nice that it had a bit of a day in the sun for a little bit over
sure.
there. What drew you to that? It's your move, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know, to be fair. Just like the twiddly twangliness of the guitar.
Yeah.
And I realised that a lot of my songs have like a similar technique on guitar. So again, not to talk too much about album 2, but I've tried to like not write the same album again, if you know what I mean.
So that's where you go. So you've looked at your second output, which will be your first. Let's call that your first output, because you've gone backwards. I like this. So, but you looked at that, and you had the progression into this like weird like electronic and band fuller sound with like more instrumentation and orchestration.
Yeah.
And you want to move further, again, and move away, push yourself out again.
Yeah, it's like there's some familiar aspects, but there's like I don't know, like I've not stuck to my formulas
yet,
because I
think it needs to be applauded. I'm a big supporter of that. I think people are too scared to move away from like the sound of their band, and I've spoken to some bands that come in here and whatever all the time, and they go, does this sound like us? I said, well, yeah, if you're doing it, it sounds like you. So you need to not be afraid to just do something else, because actually to a general audience member, like a person, a general listener, they're gonna hear you in it.
Yeah.
No, if it's authentic.
Exactly.
If it's actually you, and it's music you want to make, and it's music you're passionate about. If you suddenly go and do a disco funk album,
well, because that's
you will still hear all that. You can't drop them suddenly, because they're just ways you play, ways you sing, melodic phrasings that you use just naturally. You throw them in, and you can hear them in no matter what type of music you choose to make.
For sure. I think there's something in like trying to do what you're known for, even though it's not really you anymore.
Yeah.
Like one of my favourite bands, like Blink-182, when they like first got back together and they did Neighbourhoods, I loved the album, and it was like hated because it was like it was different. But for me, it was like probably wasn't as like the self-titled was like my favourite of all time, but it was like it felt like it was like them now.
Yeah.
Whereas the album after that, when Tom DeLonge left again and Matt Skiba joined, it felt like they were like, "Hey, fellow kids," you know what I mean? And it felt like they were like trying to do the thing they did in the past, but that wasn't who they were now.
Yeah.
And like there was some like good melodies and stuff. Like the songs themselves were like kind of catchy, but like the like authenticity of it.
It didn't speak to you.
It didn't feel right, because it like I say, it just felt like they were doing that.
I have the same thing. So my favourite band of all time is the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And actually, that's how I feel about the progression recently with them, with the guitar. So obviously, John Frusciante left the band.
Yeah.
They got in Josh, and they did 2 albums with him. And the second of those, Dark Necessities, felt like a band pushing into newer things and being like, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
When John came back in, they were obviously going back and looking at their old catalogue and playing through that and really enjoying making that music again. But the resulting albums. And I do like them. They're not terrible albums, but they just didn't feel.
It didn't feel
fresh.
Like,
it just felt like, and that's probably what a lot of fans want. Some people love that familiarity. Same with Blink. People are like, this is Blink being Blink. But I know what you mean from an artistic standpoint. It just felt like it feels kind of stale. Like you've given me like Red Hot Chili Peppers by numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and like I kind of would rather you just do something completely out there.
Yeah, I'm
like,
exactly the same.
Flea's solo album is all just like electronica, synth, and trumpet, and and it's just really out there. I'd love to see, and then actually I think some of the stuff they were doing with Josh, they were experimenting and doing stuff.
Yeah,
but I feel like a lot of that stuff got dropped. And I was like, actually, it would have been lovely to hear some of that in there.
It would have been cool.
Just like throw that stuff in there. Like that is who you are now. That's the stuff you've absorbed.
That's the sort of vibe that I want to go for. Just like
agree.
Having some familiar aspects, but like I'm a different person now. Like I wrote the album again, sort of after I wrote this upcoming EP. So it would have been like when I was 27. Let's say when I was like 28. So like or 29. So that's still like 2 or 3 years ago. That like it was pretty much finished at that point. So like this is like 3 years later, and like a lot's changed in my life, and like my tastes have changed, and like you know what I mean. If I was to like do the same thing, it would just sound cheesy, you know what I mean? Like, because I had the first album, I cut 1 song, and all the rest were like, because I don't really like. I'll just sit there and play my guitar, and if I won't like record something until I'm like, that's sick. If I'm like, that's all right, I just won't even bother. Or maybe I'll like record a video of it and be like, maybe I'll work on that. But like, I won't actually start a demo until I'm like, this is a good idea.
Okay,
so like, the first album, because of that, I only cut one song, and then but I've cut a lot more on the second album because I wrote a lot more. And to start off with, I didn't really have a direction.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, I've like locked in. There's been like three or four iterations where I'm like, right, this is the package. This is what's going to happen in this album, and then like I'll be like, oh, actually, don't know now. Or like I went a bit risky on some of the songs, and I've had to like reword what I say. So then that's like restructured the layout a bit as well. But yeah, it's just like something about pushing myself to like just not do the same thing and just be me. You know what I mean? Just like express myself properly.
Yeah.
Like.
So you're definitely from that side. I think a similar school to me. That it's a piece of art and it represents like whatever it is you want to say. I mean, what people interpret from it is by the by, but you want to make it the best piece that expresses something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great way to work. In my opinion, just not to detract from those who make dancey, summery vibe tunes that
they've got their place.
They've
you know
got
what I
their
mean?
place and whatever.
But it's like,
and it doesn't come from a place. It doesn't come from a place of wanting to express. It comes from a place of wanting to make people feel something.
Yeah, like let off steam a bit.
Yeah,
you know what
joy
I mean?
or whatever. That's a completely different school. But I come from the similar sort of background of like song, and for me, song is always absolutely key. Here's the piece that I'm trying. Here's something I'm trying to express through the emotions of the music or the lyrics. And
yeah, I bet I have my go as well.
There I do. So you've got some characters that appear in your videos.
Oh yeah. So that like, on the surface people think they're just random, but there is meaning behind them all. So I mean, the obvious one, like the Weatherman, that song's called The Weather.
Okay.
So that's just a given.
Yeah.
And then what's next? Ghillie Suit Man. So that song, he was a character in the video for I'm Sick, which is about not wanting to like hang out with anyone and like just wanting to be in your room alone. So like, hence wearing the ghillie suit and you're not going to be seen. You're just going to be left alone.
Yeah.
And then Bigfoot was for Your Plan, which is the You Stood Me Up but Set Me Free.
Okay.
So like in the music video, he's like setting himself free out of the cage and also being like stood up on a date. And then at the end after that, well, at the end, I like take the Bigfoot mask off as well to like reveal that I'm a human. So it's like breaking free even further than just the cage. Like, because when you first watch it, you're just like, oh, it's obviously a guy in a suit, but he's trying to be an ape. But I'm not. I'm a man in a suit in the video. So at the end, I like take the suit off to like break myself free even further. To sort of be like that. Breaking out of the cage was the first step, and then the next step was like breaking out of my own cage. Yeah. If that makes sense. So.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Who else is there? I mean, the alien's kind of the most random one, but he makes an appearance in quite a lot. He's been played by many different people. He's basically like James Bond at this point. The amount of actors he's had for him.
Just a little motif that he's like to put in the videos.
And then the most recent one, the conspiracy guy. He's like.
That's the guy with the tinfoil hat.
Yeah. Because the song's called The Truth, and he has like a tinfoil hat and a flat Earth T-shirt. But I'm not actually a flat earther.
Just to clarify.
But I've never seen the curvature of the Earth for myself, so it is up in the air technically. But I have faith in the science.
Faith in the science. So these came after the song. These were specifically for the video, or were you like had this? Or was that like orchestrated, or was it like on a case by case basis coming up with videos?
Case by case basically. Just coming up with ideas for the video, and like the first video idea that I had was for I'm Sick. That ended up being like the third song that came out, but the original idea was like too expensive to do, and it wasn't even like that technical, but like I wanted to like, because in the video now I'm like breaking these lights with like a baseball bat and a skateboard and like a guitar.
Yeah.
But originally I was looking for like a studio to do it in, and it was like expensive to rent out.
Yeah.
And then they were also like, well, you know, we're gonna be extra to clean up the glass unless you want to do it yourself. But then I was like, well, if I do it myself and I miss a bit, then I'll be like liable if the next person like stands on a bit. So I was like, I'm gonna have to really pay for the cleanup, otherwise, if I do miss a bit, then it's on them if I paid for the cleanup. You know what I mean? But we ended up just simplifying it because I wanted to like reverse a car into the light. There was like a whole thing with a car. But we ended up just going to like an abandoned like military base and just like setting up in there, and like because there was already like loads of shards all in there.
It's one of those things where it sounds like the constraints actually probably made it a better video in the long run.
And more affordable to do as well.
Yeah.
So
win-win really. I like those sorts of things where like just budgets or some other kind of constraint kind of forces you to innovate in a way that
I like that sort of thing. It's like, good.
And I often think things end up better for it. I think it's your turn as well, mate.
Cool.
So are you going to keep revisiting any of these characters going to become a regular thing, or is it something you're just doing for this EP run, or are you going to continue that whole?
That is. Me and my manager Ethan were having a chat about that the other day, and that is currently TBC. Yeah. But we've got a few like rough ideas, but like. You're
not going to create the drowsy extended universe. Or
that is a sort of plan because like
I'll buy the drowsy top trumps. That's
that has actually crossed my mind.
We can make them in house here. We've got the cutter. We've got this.
I've got to make several more characters first, so it's gonna be a quick.
Well, there you go. That's reason to.
There will be more characters, but
if you start with the base pack, you see, as you add more characters,
DLC.
you can add.
But I've got some ideas for characters for album 2 songs already, but like I say, the tone, like, because I feel like in the first album the tone's like serious, but it's still a bit like there's like some sort of humour to it, and that is true for the second album, but like the seriousness is like, well, they're both elevated basically. Like say it's like a 10 at the moment, it goes up to like 20 for like the seriousness and the humour. So I've got to be careful what videos I like use a character in and like how I go about it, because I don't want like a serious song to have like a ghillie suit man in it. I used to have that. Thing is, I used to have that attitude as well. I'm thinking, very serious song. We've got to do a serious video, but actually. Through the years, I've cast my mind back to particularly when like videos were on television or on my television, because I know they still can be, but like you'll be watching them on whatever. Quite often, I think the Foo Fighters are a perfect example of that. Like you've got a song like "Learn to Fly" that actually is quite a serious song. But the humorous video doesn't actually necessarily take away from the meaning of the song. So if you do it well, that's true. But then like their lyrics are a bit more abstract than mine. Mine are like very like I'm saying exactly what is going on, or like it's very like blunt rather than like, because like "Learn to Fly," you can listen to that. And like it's got you can hear it's got emotion, but you're not necessarily like even I don't know the meaning of that song to be fair. I've heard it so many times, but I don't know what it means. I've not properly listened to the lyrics, but like what I've tried to do is like just you like, as long as you can understand what I'm saying, which obviously I'm trying to make sure that I'm like expressing myself properly. So
maybe you need a noir-esque character.
Potentially.
Something that is very, very dry. Yeah. And any humour is kind of subtle.
Well, I'm thinking for the really serious ones, I'm just gonna be me, because like that's like the only way it can be done, I'm thinking at the moment. Because
well, maybe then we'll just call you Miserable Emo. And then that'll be your character. That's your character.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just be the character is miserable emo drowsy.
Oh shit! I just realised that you got me.
Distract you with questions.
Yeah.
Win at drafts.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had that much forethought, but to be honest, but I don't remember the last time I played drafts. So
Have you done your move?
I have, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so okay, I can escape. Okay. Yeah, I can escape.
yes.
Actually, I had to do this, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because I have to get you, which means that I can't escape.
But you can use that as far as you want to jump.
Can I jump again?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that then. Oh shit. I've got to do this now though.
Yeah. It's not going well for me, I can tell you that.
Could be worse.
Interesting. These two back here are just absolutely done for as soon as they move.
Because I have to take it, don't I?
Yeah.
And
I can't go backwards, so I can run. But that one's gone. You have to take this one.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good.
It's not. At least he's free. Free into a world that's collapsing around him. It's a bit of a.
That's why I've got this one locked in.
An analogy for the world, I think, right now.
Yeah. I'm taking one of you, whatever you do now.
Yeah.
Wherever you go,
Yeah.
you're being got. So,
I'm just deciding if there is one that is more beneficial in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe that it is, but
I reckon. I mean, because whatever you do,
yeah,
I think I'm going to get you on the next go.
yeah, I think so. So we're going to go.
Because I would have moved that one because this one, I'm definitely getting you. Whereas this one, not maybe you've got. No, you haven't.
I haven't a hope in hell. Here we go. I lose at drafts.
Sick.
Well done.
Thanks.